Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Kim and I'm currently in South Korea, and today is the start of a group tour. The group tours gonna take us around South Korea for the next 9 days, and tonight in about 20 minutes is our welcome meeting where I'll be meeting the rest of the group. So yeah, let's go. For our first group meal, our tour leader took us to eat dak and mari, a traditional Korean dish where a whole chicken gets simmered in a flavorful broth with potatoes, rice cakes and vegetable. After dinner, we headed to Myeongdong to have a look around this lively area. It really comes alive in the evening with lots of street food stands and all shops being open late into the evening. The next day, it's time to really start exploring. We take the subway over towards Gyeongbokgung Palace, and the first thing we see is the road lined with many flags. These are the flags of all the countries that helped the South in the Korean War. We arrived at the palace right in time for the changing of the guard ceremony. This one's usually held behind the first gate. However, due to an event happening the next day and a big stage being built inside, the ceremony was moved to the outside plaza. It was a great way to see a tradition being kept alive.
The uniforms are a reproduction from the 15th century.
守门军的军服再现了朝鲜前期15世纪的服饰。
ただいま兵士たちが着用している衣装は15世紀の衣装を指す。
Gyeongbokgung Palace is a big complex with many different buildings inside. This is a former royal palace and the first royal palace of the Joseon dynasty. The construction of it started in 1394. During the Imjin War in 1592, this palace and others were completely burned down. In the following 270 years, the palace went mostly unused and undeveloped until Queen Jeonju in 1865 ordered for the palace to be reconstructed. In 1910, when Japan colonized Korea, many buildings were systematically demolished and altered, but in the 1980s, significant efforts began to restore the palace to its pre-colonial state. Afterwards, we stopped at the National Museum of Korean Contemporary History. There is a great roof terrace that allows an amazing view of the whole palace complex. In the afternoon, we took a wander through the Ikseondong Hanok village, where we could see the beautiful traditional Korean houses. To finish off this big day of exploring in Seoul, we took a bus up to the Seoul Tower. From here, you can get a brilliant view of the surrounding city, and it's also a great spot to watch the sunset. On the way to dinner, we walked along the Seoul 7017 Sky Park. This is a former highway overpass turned into a pedestrian path lined with many plants. For dinner we had bulgogi, which was very tasty. The next day it was time to leave Seoul behind and make our way outside the city. We made our way to the Seoul Bus Express terminal to catch a bus towards Jeonju. This was a very luxurious experience. We did have the deluxe bus booked, which has fully reclining seats, tray table, even in-seat entertainment. And the rail network in Korea is really well built, so this was indeed very comfortable. After arriving in Jeonju and checking into our accommodations, we took a walk through the village and started exploring. Jeonju is a very pretty town with a big hanok village and is very popular for tourists. Stopped for lunch and had the traditional noodle soup before heading to the Gyeongjeon Shrine. This again is a complex of many traditional beautiful buildings and also is heavily linked with the Joseon dynasty. Here we had a good look around, and we also had a chance to visit the portrait museum before heading back out and having a walk up to a little viewpoint where we could see the hanok village from above. Afterwards, we headed over towards what's called the Mural Village. This is a residential neighborhood where there's many fun and beautiful murals just painting on the side of the paths, and it's a fun activity to have a look at. Once we had enough of the murals, it was time to start heading back towards our accommodation. So we had another nice stroll through the hanok village, and we were all getting ready for dinner.
Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dinner was a fun experience today. We had what's called makgeolli and anju, which is basically their version of tapas, and there was some very interesting foods involved. After dinner, our tour leader took us over to a different area of the town, a more modern area this time round that was very lively in the evening. The next day we had a chance to visit a workshop where traditional Korean hanji paper is still produced. We first received a thorough explanation of the whole making process before we all got a chance to actually make our own personal hanji paper. To get a nice looking smooth paper, this process is actually a little bit trickier than expected, even though the steps are very simple, but you can tell it does need some real practice to get your paper looking just right and nice and smooth. After our hanji workshop, it was time to head back towards
이게 한지가 몇 년 갑니까? How long does it last?
1,000 years.
1,000 years.
Long last.
Did you hear that? So anything you want to leave some important message.
After our hanji making workshop, it was time to keep exploring, and we headed to one of the local markets where they sell a big variety of stuff, but we were mainly here to get our lunch. After lunch, which was a pretty big portion, we decided to head for a walk down the canal to enjoy the nice sunshine and walk off that big meal a little bit before we were then given free time to enjoy as we pleased. We ended up trying out some of the nice cafes in the hanok village. Then it was time to head to our stay for the night, which was a traditional hanok Korean house. In traditional hanok houses, there are just have some pads on the floor, but the whole floor is heated, which does make it rather cozy. After we'd settled in at the Hanok house, I decided to spend the evening on my own as I just needed some time to myself. And while looking for dinner, I decided to wander around the Hanok village once more, which at night looks completely different but very beautiful. Hello everyone. So it's been a minute, a couple of days since I've spoken to you directly. But yeah, it's just I've been, focusing on the tour itself and just on enjoying all the new experiences. Because yeah, we've done a lot the last few days. So we spent kind of the first day of the tour in Seoul. And yesterday we made our way down to Jeonju, which is a town a couple hours south of Seoul, which is absolutely lovely. I'm just we have been, as I said, hanging out together as a group pretty much all day, and I've been eating all the meals together and so. And our tour guide has been brilliant, and I mean, food experiences so far, really, really excellent. But I decided to take today, this evening, on my own, just to get some space. And yeah, I'm just here wandering through the village in the evening. So it's only about 7 o'clock now. I know it's dark, but it's not really late yet. And yeah, it's really beautiful. Tomorrow morning we're moving on to the next town that I can't remember the name of right now, but we're staying in a Hanok tonight, so which is a traditional Korean residential building. And yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. But yeah, otherwise I'm hoping you're enjoying following along on this tour with me. Kind of want some back exploring on my own. I'll go back to my more usual style of vlogging. But yeah, for now, I hope you enjoy all the sights. And yeah, I'm loving it so far here.